The road trip continues tonight from AT Park here in San Francisco, where the Pirates and Giants begin a 3-game series. And the Pirates were able to take 1 out of 3 from the Rockies beginning this trip, and so they find themselves still very much in the thick of things, just 3 games back of first place Milwaukee entering play here tonight. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block and John Wayner with you here from San Francisco this evening. The Pirates taking on a Giants team with the second poorest record in the National League so far, but the Giants, as you remember, took 3 in a row from the Pirates back in Pittsburgh. So tonight, Gerrit Cole, who had a tough June, has had a very good July. He's really the ace again for the Pirates.
Definitely pitching like an ace is Gerrit Cole. The Pirates have won 6 of his last 7 starts. He's only allowed 1 run in 4 of those. His 1 bad start came against these Giants, where he allowed 7. Against the Brewers, a season high 10 punch-outs for Gerrit Cole. He had great fastball command at 96 plus miles an hour. He's averaging on his fastball, and when he's throwing that hard and he has the good hook, the change-up's working, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can see the Brewers were very frustrated. The curveball, he had swing and miss. He caught guys looking with the fastball. He was on the top of his game.
Now Gerrit Cole, who has ascended to the top spot again in the Pirates rotation. Look at that, the 10 strikeouts, no walks against the Brewers, but against the Giants, those 7 runs, and really has moved on past those 3 7-run outings in June.
Yeah, you know, the Giants came into Pittsburgh pretty hot, and you know, when you have an offense that's swinging the bats like they were, they can sweep you. So you never take any team lightly. Gerrit Cole obviously is the guy you want on the hill, the way he's been pitching of late, and especially against the Giants team. It's really struggled at the plate. The team average since that series in Pittsburgh just .238 for the Giants. You look at the starters' ERA over 6. This team's really reeling.
Now, the teams have moved in opposite directions since they last met. The Giants still trying to figure out what has gone wrong for them this season. The Pirates playing some better baseball here, trying to continue the road trip in a positive fashion, and their mound opponent tonight will be the veteran Matt Cain, as we got baseball for you coming up in just a bit here on AT&T Sportsnet. Haven't lost consecutive games in about 3 weeks, but they'll try to do that against the Giants here tonight. They won't be facing Johnny Cueto as we look at our Allegheny Health Network injury update. Cueto playing catch today. He'll throw a light bullpen tomorrow. He's been on the disabled list. He had some blister problems, and so good thing they don't have to face him. He's had a good career against the Pirates, and so the Giants a man down. And who has been in his place? Longtime veteran Matt Cain will get the start tonight for San Francisco.
You know, Matt Cain, not the great pitcher he once was. He has really struggled the last 3 years for these San Francisco Giants. His ERA is over 5.5. Doesn't have much velocity on the fastball anymore. He's only throwing on average about 89 miles per hour. They're hitting his fastball at a 352 clip. So Matt Cain struggling, so you expect to score some runs tonight.
Yeah, you look at those last 3 years. This is out of 139 qualified pitchers. So, you know, he's been a 3-time All-Star. He's in his 13th season. A lot of wear and tear on that right arm, and not quite the same Matt Cain in his glory years here with the Giants. So, can the Pirates offensively take advantage? The top of the lineup has been very productive. And the table setters Marte and Harrison. We'll talk about them as we get you set for baseball coming up right here on AT Sportsnet. Here in San Francisco, Pirates and Giants tonight, and we're talking about facing Matt Cain. The Pirates offense has had, you know, some ability to get on the table setters ahead of Andrew McCutchen and Josh Bell, and having Starling Marte back has made a difference.
What a great 1-2 punch, Marte and Harrison. When McCutchen got hot and moved back to that third spot, it seemed like Frazier and Harrison struggled, but Marte with his wheels, not knocking the cover off the ball, but certainly getting on base. And Josh Harrison, he's returned to form. A little bit of a mini slump for Jay Hay, but he has caught fire as well. And so there's been a ton of opportunities because of Marte and Harrison for the middle of the lineup, guys like McCutchen and Bell and Freeze. So hopefully that will continue throughout the road trip.
And look at the numbers. Since Marte came back, he's hitting .333. So is Josh Harrison, getting over that early July slump and hitting for extra bases too. So those guys, when you get McCutchen and Bell swinging like they have, especially this month for Bell, now you're going to be able to score some runs. So Cervelli and the Pirates hoping to do that against the Giants tonight. Let's go back to our studios. Rob King with a game break.
Big hug.
I missed.
Hey, there we go. There's sound. Yeah. Can hear again.
Oh, that's for 3.
Oh, wow.
Yes. as the Pirates trying to get back to their winning ways. And a lot of Pirate black and gold out here on the West Coast. Here at this beautiful ballpark. A little bit breezy as it usually is, a swirling wind here. And that's the top two in the Pirates RAV4 lineup for tonight. Starling Marte and Josh Harrison in front of Andrew McCutchen and Josh Bell. Then it's David Freese batting fifth. Adam Frazier gets the start in right field tonight. Cervelli, Mercer, and Cole will round out the order against Kane this evening.
You'll see Matt Cain's numbers, his 20th appearance, 96 and 2/3 innings, just 58 strikeouts and 40 walks. Not a very good strikeout to walk ratio. He actually got off to a good start this year. He had a good April. He went 2-0 with an ERA of just 2.30. But since then, 1-8 with a 6.78 ERA in 13 starts.
Now he's 32 years old, but 13 seasons, came up at age 20. A lot of innings pitched for the Giants, and the Honda defense here tonight. Brandon Crawford, excellent shortstop for the Giants. Joe Panik, his double play partner Nunez and Belt on the corners, with one-time Pirate Gorkis Hernandez in left, and Art Spand at center, Hunter Pence in right, and the catcher, Buster Posey. Well, Marte will try to start things off on the right foot. Both teams have had issues scoring this season, though the Pirates busted out in that first game in the Rockies series, quieted in the final two. It's a much different facility for offense.
Man, it's so weird to be here and not have the place packed with fans. They had that long sellout streak. There always was a buzz here at AT Ballpark, and the struggles with this club. Obviously, the folks aren't coming out like they were.
It used to be a place where, if you're a Pirate fan, you want to go see them on the road. It'd be a very, very difficult ticket. Still selling most of the tickets. But like you said, yeah, a little bit thinner of a crowd tonight. The Giants, as poor as they've been at this point of the season in about 3 decades. So, especially this decade, they've been used to winning 3 World Series.
And Matt Cain throw a fastball, change, curve, and slider. The curveball probably his best pitch. That fastball, it used to have some deception. He never really was a big flamethrower. But the fastball now, that one at 90, that's about where he'll top out. He thought that was in the strike zone. Unhappy with it.
Bruce Bochy, longtime manager of the Giants, very successful, even as a Padres manager prior to that back in the 90s. Took them to a World Series as well. Let's look at our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Well, if Matt Cain throws that fastball in the strike zone, clobber it. Opponent's hitting 352 against his heater. And again, not much heat to that heater, so you can't miss it. And keep the ball in the yard. Garrett Cole is pitching great, although 20 home runs allowed on the year. And with this Giants offense struggling, it's going to be hard for them to bunch hits. So I think if they're going to touch up Cole, it would be with the long ball.
Luckily, he's facing the team in the Giants. There's Cole. Hits the fewest home runs. And this ballpark sees the fewest home runs hit within it. Pirates also not a home run hitting team. They have the second fewest in all of baseball in terms of home runs. So that prophecy you would think would be fulfilled tonight, but that's how they play out there, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I just, again, any major league team can beat any other team on any given night, like we saw in Pittsburgh. And boy, the Giants, they seemed like they were locked in from the first inning on in that series at PNC Park, and that happens. Some teams just get hot offensively.
And Marte On a good throw from Posey, evades the tag. Stolen base here in the first inning.
You know, Starling is going to be aggressive, and Kane not that slow to the plate, pretty quick actually, and a strong throw by Posey, but still Marte just too quick. Maybe a perfect throw if it's right there, gets him. As you see with the pick, the short hop, the glove comes up, Marte goes under.
And a decisive look there on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. 4 steals in the week since coming back already. Posey throws out about major league average, and being helped by his pitcher tonight, as you said, Kane. Pretty quick home. Cracked out toward the gap. And that one drops in. Marte thought that it might be caught, and so he's only able to get to third. Looked like it was hanging up there long enough for Span, but ends up dropping in for a double.
Yeah, the ball was perfectly placed out there in right center field. The curve ball, and Jay Hay, you know he's going to try to go to the right side to move that runner up, and didn't get all of it, got enough of it. And Marte, I mean, you could still, I mean, you don't have to go back to tagging this. That they're not camped under it, even though you might assume that they're going to catch it. I mean, you can stay right there. Stay right there. You see that he can't catch it, you're going to score. And even if it does make a great catch, with his speed, he still probably could have went back and tagged.
So 2 on in scoring position. Andrew McCutchen. Well, just like we talked about, you know, those guys have been getting on quite a bit, especially with the speed of Marte. Harrison second, or leading the team right now in steals, and so Marte, I assume, will ascend him at some point, but that's kind of how you want it, right? The speedy guys getting on, and then the power guys coming up.
A little off-speed pitch in there now. Andrew behind 0-2.
And Andrew this year hitting at .359 with runners in scoring position. That's about as good as he ever has. So
yeah, it seems like, you know, that just like with his batting average, I mean, so much of the damage has been done since the end of May. And you see 2 buccos on the bags.
Base hit likely scores a pair here.
You don't really have to worry about velocity. Andrew looked like there with 2 strikes, maybe trying to go the other way. Brendan Belt, the first baseman, way off the line, about halfway between first and second base. Panic, shading towards the middle.
That will get a run home. Nunez gets the out, but McCutchen will get an RBI. And the Pirates score first tonight. And for 2 teams that don't score a lot of runs in general, that, you know, the old Jim Leyland theory, right? That could kind of play into a factor in this series.
He who scores first wins more often than not. And again, with Garrett Cole on the mound, you'd like to give him an early lead.
Harrison still in scoring position for Josh Bell. Drove in 6 runs in that series against Colorado, at least 1 in every game. Now finds himself with 17 runs batted in this month. Only Nolan Arenado with more in the National League in July. Got another chance for one here. Well, the team leader with 18 home runs.
This isn't a small ballpark, but compared to where we just were, when you look out to the outfield, just where the outfielders are stationed, they seem like they're so much closer together. Like there's not enough room out there to get the ball to drop. Like
feels like there are 4 of them out there.
Yeah, I mean Colorado, just a huge outfield. Josh Bell thinking that pitch was up, a 2-seam fastball that started in off the plate, came across the plate, but looked like it was up above the letters.
Chris Conroy working the plate tonight. Did he hold? Yes. Now they appeal down to Ed Hickox over there at third.
Slow curveball from Kane, and it's in the dirt, but yeah, not much of an offer there.
There's Chris Conroy, home plate umpire this evening. Jerry Meals is the crew chief, working over at first base. We got Ron Kulpa at second, and Mr. Hickox at third. Now, because Kane, is throwing 90, 91, are you able as a hitter to adjust better to maybe not the curveball because it's so slow, but the change in the slider?
Well, I mean, as a hitter, you're not really worried about being too quick. I mean, you can kind of afford. I mean, you probably should look for the ball, outer half, elevated. Just try to stay back on him because he will pitch in at times, and he'll try to get you looking soft. I think with that big slow curveball, and maybe try to sneak a fastball in there. But I think if you just kind of just look out over the plate, if you try to pull him, he's going to have you out in front. So you might as well just go ahead and look to hit the ball the other way.
Dave Righetti, longtime Giants pitching coach. Last one was right down the middle, fastball. And this one connected out to right and off that brick wall. That easily scores Harrison. And it's an RBI double for the red hot Josh Bell.
My goodness, does the ball jump off of his bat? When he gets the barrel to the baseball, that thing just explodes. If it wasn't for that big tall wall out there, straightaway right field, it's another home run for Josh as this ball middle in. The fastball, take advantage, clobber it, and just not quite high enough. High off of that red brick wall.
Well, he's driven in a run on every game of this road trip. 2-0 Pirates here in the first. Still looking for more with one out. He threw one right down the middle and then threw another one right down the middle. And Bell didn't miss that one.
Pretty swing there. I mean, we've seen at times where Josh kind of pulls the hands in. At times he looks a little off balance. Everything was on time.
Freese homered yesterday. Has put together a 5-game hitting streak now. Making Kane work here in the first. Walk by Marte and a steal. Doubles by Harrison and Bell. Now remember too, the way that PitchCast measures pitches these days, really it looks a lot of guys are picking up a couple of miles an hour. So when we're seeing 89 to 91 on Kane, maybe last year that might be 87 to 89.
Yeah, you're watching. I mean, it just, there was times in the past where you saw him, and that's an Adam ball, unfortunately for David Freese for out number 2. There were times where even just in the low 90s, there was some sneak to it. There were a little deception, and looked like he was throwing harder than he was. The fastballs that we've seen so far tonight, they're hard to tell sometimes whether they're fastballs or change-ups because there's a little bit of movement. It just looks like it's going in there pretty softly. It just doesn't have the zip that it once had.
Pitched over 2,000 innings. He's had some surgery on that right arm of his. Adam Frazier getting the start in right field tonight. This is an expansive right field. So Certainly pays with Polanco out to have a guy that can track it down. And that's what the Pirates are going to do while Polanco is out. Mix and match as they had while Marte was out. We've seen Jason Osuna get starts. Now Frazier. Frazier starting in right field for the second time this season. Did a couple of times last year as well. And that one finds the glove of Panic. Now that was ticketed for another run batted in. Pirates though get 2 against Matt Cain in the first. In the top of the first, a productive first inning. Andrew McCutchen with a bounce out that played at a run, and Bell's scorching double high off the wall in right center. And now San Francisco will get their turn. The Giants lineup for Bruce Bochy tonight. Denard Span atop that order with Eduardo Nunez and then Brandon Belt. Buster Posey cleans up. Brandon Crawford bats 5th. Hunter Pence in his career over 300 against the Pirates. Panic, Hernandez, and then Cain rounding out the Giants order.
You know, Garrett Cole is looking forward to this start after a rough outing against these Giants. His only rough outing in the last 7 starts, 120 and 2/3 innings, 108 punch outs. Opponent's hitting .260.
Denard Span will start things. .284. Still got a little speed, so like to keep him off the bases, and that's one way to do it. 1 out.
Well, already last 3 batters, line drives right at infielders. Jay say a little knuckle.
Yeah. He hung with it. Here's the rest of the Pirates defense this evening. Harrison and Mercer in the middle with Friesenbell on the corners. There's Adam Frazier out at right tonight. McCutchen and Marte join him in the outfield. And Francisco Cervelli, the battery made of Coles tonight. Eduardo Nunez in there for the Giants. That average now over 300. He's been really swinging a hot bat over the last quarter season or so. Well, if Cole pitches anything like he did in his last start, I mean, he went from being, you know, that rough June to a good July forming. That last start, now he's looking like that ace type pitcher again.
2 easy outs here, 2 quick outs. Yeah, it just, you know, for him to have 3 starts in a month where he's allowed 7 earned runs is
He had never even given up 7 in any start in his career.
It's bizarre. I mean, the stuff is so good. And he's capable of doing that, I think, more so than anything else. The 10 punch outs, no walks, and 1 run in 7 innings.
Ray Searage has really been proud of the pitching staff. Even after surviving Coors Field, the Pirates staff as a whole 5th lowest earned run average this month out of the 30 teams. Brandon Belt has had a sluggish homestand, 2 for 21. That average dropping down to 235. Homered a couple of times in the series, though, back at Pittsburgh.
Well, you mentioned they don't have a bunch of power, but they have guys that are a threat. And Mike Belt provide the instant offense. Close pitch there, not getting the call.
Yeah, the Giants coming in at 38 and 62. This is the lowest mark they've had 100 games into this season since 1956. And that was a year where Jackie Robinson was traded to the Giants after that year. And Belt comes back from 0-2 to draw the walk. And then Jackie Robinson ended up taking a job with the Chock full of Nuts coffee company. Yeah, he said he would be fine to join the Giants back then, but I'd rather retire from baseball than to join business. But it's been a long time since you've seen the Giants really be at the back end of their division.
Well, they got a tough division. The Central with 3 teams looking to get to the postseason.
Well, this is kind of like a couple of years ago. The West has become the Central of a couple of years ago. You have 3 teams that are all in that pace for 90, mid-90s wins or better. Dodgers on pace for 111 wins right now. Now Posey's been consistent, but a lot of the other Giants seen ups and downs. Of course, we'll see Madison Bumgarner tomorrow. He's missed most of this season after a dirt bike accident. So not that derailed the entire season, but they've had some weird events and some underperformance. That's going to be Bumgarner tomorrow. By the way, he put on quite a show in batting practice today. It's going to be an event to watch him bat, let alone his slinging his left arm.
Posey thought he was going to get a fastball here. The slider just didn't pick up the spin. Great location.
And gets the call there. So Cole issues a scoreless, hitless first, and the Pirates take a 2-0 lead into the second.
for the Pirates and Giants as they lead 2-0 after an inning. I'm Robbie Mikowski. Well, there's an old saying that goes, all good things must come to an end. Well, a week ago tonight here at AT Park, a very good thing came to an end for the San Francisco Giants, and I'm talking about a sellout streak that they had that went pretty strong. In fact, it dated back to October 1st, 2010. That was a streak of 530 consecutive games. Now, the Giants were about 2,400 shy of selling out this ballpark. It holds 41,915 fans officially. It's the second longest sellout streak in baseball history. The Boston Red Sox lead the way, who sold out Fenway Park 794 straight times from 2003 to 2013. Now, of course, Joe, 2010 was the first of 3 World Series titles for the Giants in a 5-year span. That might have had something to do with selling the amount of tickets they did, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Robbie. And still, this is a great fan base here. We only point that out to show how successful they've been here, and seeing all the Pirate fans that either live out here on the West Coast or have made the trip. If this is a place that you'd like to come visit to see the Pirates out on the road, this is a great ballpark to watch it. Good city, too. Kane gets the first out here.
Yeah, beautiful ballpark. It was not sad to see Candlestick Park.
I never got to see it, but I heard it would be quite chilly there sometimes and difficult with the wind, right?
Yeah, very windy, and this is an old kind of cookie cutter type ballpark, middle of nowhere.
You got the China Basin right over right field, and cargo ships parked for the night, things like that. Beautiful vista. The better seats are the higher up you get here. Kane out in front of Jordy Mercer. There you go. Yeah, there you go. One of Andy's ships. Andy works with us sometimes here. And like you said, this is more of a pitcher's park too, kind of old-timey in that way, even though it's a newer ballpark. Still have the bullpens out on the field.
Yeah.
Cubs did away with that now, so I think this is the last place in the National League with that. Kane had Mercer down 0-2. Now it's full. Bruce Bochy knows what it's like to want to get a strike. Long-time catcher. Mercer has homered in his career against Kane in 4 at-bats. Homered back in Colorado in that series.
That was a bomb too for Jordy Mercer. Way back.
And how about a base hit here? So a 1-out single. Getting on ahead of the pitcher. And we got another fan jam coming up for you at PNC Park on Friday, August the 4th. It's at 7:05 when the Pirates host the Padres. And then after the game, the legendary band Chicago takes the field. They'll play all their greatest hits for you. So come on out, and you can, in fact, you can watch the show from the field when you purchase a field pass too. So go to pirates.com/fanjam and get your tickets. The one time you get to cheer for Chicago at PNC Park. And the bunt is successful. 3-4. If you score.
Nicely done. Directional bunting. Make the first baseman field it. Belt thought about it for a moment, trying to get Mercer at second, but got Shore out.
So Cole does the job. Got a man in scoring position with 2 outs for Marte. Drew a walk, stole a base, and scored the first run. Marte in his first week with the Pirates, hitting .333 since coming back. I think the biggest part of it, though, has got to be the speed element.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's in the field or on the bases. That's game-changing kind of speed.
Yeah, speed doesn't slump. And so Marte, I think he's always been able to avoid the big, long hitting droughts because of the infield hit.
Yeah, he had one or two in that Rockies series. And just little dribblers. Ended up base hits. This a hard chop. And because of that speed, maybe, Nunez rushing. And Marte will reach on the error.
Yeah, I mean, no real reason. It's as routine as it gets. And it looked like the exchange tried to be too quick. He stays back, gets a good hop, and Marte solidly dropped it, so picked it up a bit. But yeah, that's as routine as it gets.
So the error on Nunez. His 8th this year. Pirates will get another opportunity with 2 outs. Mercer moves to 3rd on the play. J-Hay with a double his first time. Two-out hit adds another. Now with 2 outs, would Marte try to get into scoring position? Is that a goal sometimes for a guy who can steal?
Sure, he has a green light if he gets a jump.
Stole one last inning. Not going here. And he'll move up on the 2-out hit by J-Hay. Harrison drives in Mercer, and the Pirates lead 3-0.
Matt Cain not happy with that, and boy, he's been giving home plate umpire Chris Conroy the stink eye. And for some reason he's blaming the home plate umpire for this run. I mean, after the Mercer hit, he looked at Conroy. That fastball running in well off the plate, and J-Hay pulls the hands in. Boy, is that nice. That's a tough pitch to hit there, and another hard hit ball, another RBI, another run.
Yeah, so the error costly for the Giants. That would have ended the inning. Instead, a run across, 2 on, and McCutchen will get the bat. Nunez could not get the exchange on the Marte ball. Marte, the lead runner at second, he could score on a base hit. And I would imagine for Cain at this phase right now, he really needs anything that's a tweener, he needs it to go his way. So that's probably his frustration.
I think he needs the borderline pitch to go his way. He needs the defense to go his way. He needs some balls hit at guys, which 2 Pirates did. 2 line outs to end the first inning.
Cain has not won since May 15th. And Chris Conroy, the 5th year umpire, getting some noise from the Giants bench. And 3-0 on McCutchen.
And he will have the green light. We will see if he gets anything to hit. Josh Bell waiting on deck.
Two on, 2 out, a run in. Took a big rip. Well, you still get 2 more chances.
Oh yeah, I mean,
why not take
3?
three rips, right?
Well, you look for a pitch in an area. If it's where you're looking, try not to miss it. And that pitch was up a little bit. Andrew not quite able to get to it.
That one hit high in the air to left. Hernandez looking up, and there it goes. Just over the wall, Andrew McCutchen with a 3-run homer. And the Pirates beating up on the Giants 6-0 here in the second.
Matt Cain, his struggles continue. That's a big blow.
Talk about taking advantage. All those runs unearned. Home run number 18 for McCutchen. And now Bruce Bochy has been ejected from the ball game as he is arguing with Chris Conroy about the strike zone. And let's see if he, well, I don't know if he's talking about that earlier, but also a home run ball.
There's no question he got tossed because he was arguing about balls and strikes, and that's a no-no, and you don't get much time if you're going to go out there and argue about a missed call. So, yeah, obviously some frustration early on here. Not for Andrew McCutchen and the Pirates. A curveball. There you see pitch number 2, top of the zone. Maybe they were arguing about that. That curveball's not a bad location when you get it on the outside corner, but Andrew able to stay back on it.
And Josh Bell will bat for the second time already. McCutchen with 4 RBIs already tonight.
He's back early. The foot's down. The pitch was up just enough for Andrew to barrel it. Got under it a bit, but got enough carry.
What a costly error by Eduardo Nunez at third on a routine ball. That prolonged the inning, and 4 runs across since. Now this ball hit hit that fan. They were kind of trying to catch it, but it was going to go a row deep.
Andrew wasn't sure. And again, he got it up, and did I get enough of it?
And Bell called out on strikes, but the Pirates add 4 more. 6-0 through an inning and a half.
Pirates baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. By Bordas & Bordas, official legal partner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And by Kenny Ross Subaru, Total Confidence Pricing.
Pirates enjoying a 6-0 start tonight. Andrew McCutchen's already driven in 4. Harrison and Bell, the other runs batted in. And brothers-in-law facing one another. Yeah, McCutchen hanging on that curveball. Brandon Crawford, sister Amy marrying Garrett Cole this past winter. And so far, Garrett has held the advantage. There's Amy on the left. Yeah, she can't wear any team gear when she comes out here. That's right.
Neutral.
Unless you buy 2 hats and you sew them, cut them in half, sew them together. Pretty split fan base when it comes to these matchups. Crawford 2 for 15 against Cole, so Crawford will have that to hold over him at Thanksgiving. Remember that scorching line drive single I had off you?
Yeah, we were able to stay back, hit it off the end, and found the hole. A lot of room up the middle for Crawford, and once that got past Garrett Cole, even if Jay Hay was able to glove that, there's no chance of throwing Crawford out. There you see all that room on the right side of second base.
Hunter Pence.
With the pants above the knee.
Yeah. Could be wearing bike shorts. Now he's an old school player. Unorthodox swing and throwing motion. The almost ragged look, tucking in those pants, and just a fun guy to watch. Great guy to talk to. Well, this he's probably the Giants season a microcosm of it. A guy who has been an all-star 3 times. Has had some great productive seasons. Some injuries now have crept in recent years, and some of these bigger names are not producing as they have through the years. And so the Giants sliding in the standings.
And just 6 homers for Pence too. I mean, he's a strong guy. Not really known for his power, but certainly capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So. Just about 300 at bats, only 6 homers. This doesn't seem right.
Checking our lowdown. Clayton Kershaw hitting the DL today. And strikes out looking as Pence. Trade season. Jaime Garcia into the Twins.
Paint just put it right where Cervelli sets up. On that outside corner. A little late tail to that.
Oh, comes
pitch.
Right back just a little bit. Cole sharp. He's been sharp.
Yes, he has.
Joe Panic. 3 for his last 25. Now we're talking earlier about Kane and how he has little room for error. Cole's fastball averages over 96 miles an hour. It is the fastest fastball of the National League starters. Crawford going to move up. So does that afford Cole a little bit more wiggle room, make mistakes?
Anytime anybody throws hard, you're going to get away with more mistakes. That a changeup that kept running away from the left-handed batting panic, and pass ball, I would assume.
It is. So Crawford in scoring position. Weak tapper. And the second out. Crawford now at third. Pirates entering play tonight. 3 back of the Brewers. Brewers idle tonight. Look at the lowdown. Cincinnati falling earlier today. And the Cubs losing to the Southsiders. Cardinals have a big lead. Pirates ahead of St. Louis in the standings. Game and a half ahead of the Cardinals. Cubs actually moved into first place today, percentage point ahead of Milwaukee, but in essence tied. But the Brewers will be in first place alone when we read the paper tomorrow.
Another disgruntled Giant, as Gorky wasn't happy with that call. You could see why.
A little excuse me swing. That name sounds familiar. Hernandez some brief action with the Pirates in 12 and in 15. Part of the Nate McLouth deal way back when. And he has been part of that left field jumble. Giants have had about a dozen guys play left field for them this year. They've had a ton of injuries. Their platoon, original platoon for left field, both guys were hurt by the first couple weeks of the season. Ron Wotus in the center there. He's the bench coach, acting manager after Bochy ejected last inning. There's Ron. Chris Conroy ejected Bochy. Ron, a former Pirate, by the way, for a couple of seasons. Hernandez went. Conroy said so. And so that leadoff single left on. So Garrett Cole, a couple of scoreless, leading 6-0. Pirates leading by a half dozen here in San Francisco. We want you to mark your calendars for Wednesday, August 2nd. Pirates Charities Night returns to AT Sportsnet. On that Wednesday night, Pirates will host the Reds. And tune in. You can help support those affected by cancer in our community by purchasing backpacks filled with exclusive Pirates merchandise, including a Pirates Charlie Brown bobblehead, commemorative plates, autographed baseballs, and so much more. And if you want to find out more, go to pirates.com/charity night. Make sure you have us on Wednesday, August the 2nd. David Freese batting for the second time tonight. He lined out. Matt Cain throwing 53 pitches through the first 2 innings, and he had to throw a bunch more and gave up 4 runs after a costly 2-out error. That one slammed into center.
A good approach once again. Pitch out over the plate, not trying to pull it. Looks like a curveball. Not a bad location. Just a real good swing.
David Freese been swinging the bat better last few games or so. Seeing a lot more hard hit balls. He's aboard for Frazier.
Frazier had a hard hit ball. Line drive right at the second baseman. I'd like to have this type of count. Heading to count 2-0.
Now both these teams, especially in this ballpark, the big innings you think are going to come from moving the line around, but McCutcheon with that home run kind of thwarting that theory a little bit, but that's kind of how you got to play here, right? I mean, you're swinging for the fences. You may never get on.
Well,
especially as a left-handed hitter, I would think, right?
I mean, you're just going to take your approach, and again, you're not going to, a team approach is different than a personal approach. I mean, when you're in a batter's box, you're going to attack the hitter based on the way he pitches, and so again, if you can string together hits and keep the line moving, yeah, that works. Never hurts to have a 3-run homer, though. I mean, those are game changers.
They get a force, and that'll be it. Frazier runs too well, and Freese is put out 4-6. So his speed is on. I'd imagine for a left-handed batter out in the upper right of the screen there, that triples alley, that could be inviting too. If you get a ball to pull, you got extra bases.
I mean, it would be nice if it was that easy to where well, I'm going to get a pitch and hit it into that corner or into that gap. I mean, again, you take an approach, you look for a pitch, you get it, and you try to hit it hard. Can't always control where it goes.
So it's a byproduct, the ballparks that they play in, right? I mean, for McCutcheon there, I mean, his home run, I mean, he just tried to put a good swing on it.
I mean, for a 3-1 pitch, a curveball in the outside corner, I mean, it's just a reaction. I doubt that he was looking curveball. I just think he recognized the spin, saw that it was up a little bit, and put a pretty good swing on it. And you could tell by his reaction, he wasn't sure if he got enough of it. There is a helping breeze here, and it only got over that fence by a foot or two. So
he's been feeling good.
Oh, he's having fun.
It has certainly been an upbeat clubhouse in recent weeks. I'm going to turn that one over. King gets some help from his defense in that inning. But the Pirates lead by 6. Wind, as we usually see here, 6-0. Pirates have the lead. Bucco fans liking that hot start to this series for the Buccos. Andrew McCutcheon's already driven in 4 runs. And look at some of our Point Park social media. Yeah, and Andrew McCutcheon taking over for the Giants, or against the Giants here tonight. And you know, the old theory, when so goes Kutch, so go the Pirates bats. Not to say the other 8 men in the lineup don't contribute, but since he's been hitting, it seems like the Pirates have a better output as well. I like that. The band of DH MVP chance. Well, maybe at least he's been the Pirates MVP offensively, certainly this season.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a force in the middle of your lineup and he's hot, you're increasing your chances to score more runs. And when he first moved to the 6th hole, tons of opportunities to drive in runs, and he was doing that, hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Moved to 3rd. And when he moved to that 3 hole, though, the guys in front of him, Harrison and Frazier, struggled a bit. But now, with Jay and Marte getting on for him, lots and lots of opportunities. Now, sometimes he gets pitched to, sometimes he doesn't. But a lot of guys feeling good at the plate. Josh Bell has had opportunities to drive in runs as well and has cashed in.
Cole with his 4th strikeout. Hitting is contagious, and sometimes you get some great pitching can be contagious too. Let's look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders. All-time Pirates strikeout list, and Garrett Cole has moved into a tie with Bob Walk on the list.
How about that?
Liriano next on there. Jim Rooker. It's all the getting all the broadcasters in there. Steve Blass way up on that list. Take a while to get to him. So quickly 2 gone. No one not related to Garrett Cole has a hit tonight. There's Bob sitting on the left there. Yeah, that's right. 650 of those. Yep. It's going to be another quick inning.
Beauty.
8-pitch inning for Garrett Cole. Sends him down in order, working with a 6-0 lead. Nothing lead. Moving on to the 4th inning tonight here from San Fran. Thanks for staying up with us here tonight. Maybe you're a third shifter and just getting started for today. Hey, let's look at our day automotive this day in Pirates history. Back in 1977, Pirates beating the Braves 7-6 in 13 innings back at Three Rivers, and the Braves getting an unearned run in the top half of the 13th before the Pirates coming back to tie it, and an Omar Moreno run scoring single. And then they loaded the bases for Jim Fregosi. Worked the walk. It's before they called it a walk-off. Antico getting the win in relief. He pitched the final 4 innings. Dave Parker with a couple of hits and a couple of runs in that one. And coming up, there's going to be a debuting after Wednesday's game and after the post-game show inside Pirates Baseball on Dave Parker. That's going to be something to watch. They have done quite a bit, going to Cincinnati a couple of times and talking with the Cobra about his Parkinson's and the therapies that he's undergoing right now, and where that's going with him. So again, that'll come up here on AT&T Sportsnet after postgame Wednesday. That will be one you won't want to miss. And Cobra talking about, this is where he is now, and he says once a buck, always a buck. So he wanted to share with everyone how he's doing. We hope that he's doing as well as he can right now. And I can't wait to watch that. So tune us in as you always do. Matt Cain getting a quicker inning last time around. And he's gotten the first 2 men here in the 4th.
Well, you have to wonder what's going through Matt Cain's head. Is more efficient to get the last 5 outs, just 16 pitches.
Would have thrown a lot fewer pitches in that second inning with a 2-out error. Pirates scored 4 runs after that error.
And obviously Cain and that error by Nunez you see there, a routine ball too with Marte at the plate. You got to wonder, Matt Cain, the way he's pitching. I mean, he's going to take the ball and continue to go out there as long as the Giants allow it. But you got to wonder after this year. I mean, does he think he could still get guys out? Does he walk away?
32 years old, but yeah, he's not had success in some time. Nunez making a sparkling play there, though. And Kane with his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. 6-0 Pirates.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
6-0 with the Pirates on top, and Willie McCovey, the great Willie McCovey, here in attendance as he is most nights. They named the cove after him here, and you can know that Steve Blass, watching back at home tonight, is quivering. You see it, him? One of the great home run hitters of all time, Willie McCovey.
I'm sure he would like that 309-foot short porch and right. Right down the line. A pop-up could be a homer.
It's number 44. A great slugger's number. And very inviting for a left-handed power hitter down that line. I was thinking about the Pirates Willie the other day, and of course Willie Stargell becoming 521 career home runs. There's Willie Stargell, yeah, the jersey. About when he was at Forbes Field at the beginning part of his career, how difficult it was to hit a home run as a left-handed batter in that ballpark, and yet still amassing. I think he would have been a 500 home run hitter if he got to play at Three Rivers his whole career.
Would maybe needed 21 more.
Right down the line. That's going to have a leadoff two-base hit. Well, Belt's struggling in this homestand. 2 for 21 coming in, but he's walked and doubled tonight.
Like a changeup, 88 miles per hour. Not a bad location. Up a bit. You can see there Belt hit it off the end of the bat. It's a difference between a ground ball and a line drive. If that changeup's down around the knees, he probably rolls over. It's up around the thigh. He's able to hit a liner.
21 doubles now for Belt. Only the second hit off Cole. Buster Posey, the cleanup man, one of the leaders in batting average, but hitting .264 with runners in scoring position this year. So That's all right. Far cry from that Rockies outfit that leads baseball in runners in scoring position. Every time they bring a guy up, 350, 400.
312 as a team.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, the Rockies a top 3 offense. The Giants this year have been a bottom 3 offense. And so far, Cole has held him at bay. That'll freeze the runner. And they get the first out. Posey is gone. And Cole fairly economical pitch-wise.
Yeah, helped by that quick 3rd inning. See what he does here with his brother-in-law Crawford. He pretty much stayed soft back in the 2nd inning against Brandon Crawford. And Crawford ended up hitting a weak grounder up the middle on a changeup. I would think that would be the first thing that Brandon Crawford will come at Garrett Cole with after the game is, where's the fastballs? Why no fastballs for strikes? There's one.
97. Seems effortless from Cole. That's the standard. Closer type velocity from a starting pitcher.
Pretty amazing when you figured starting pitcher and Cole averaging around 100 pitches per start to be able to average 96 miles per hour.
He's going to find a spot. And Belt comes in and Crawford drives in the Giants' first run. Well, it's not Coors Field, but there is a little extra room out there in right center here, and that's where you can kind of find a seam.
Well, came back again with a fastball. He beat Crawford with a fastball, a late swing on the foul ball. This one, he wanted to get it inside. He left it middle. And that still tied up Crawford a bit. He didn't hit this all that well. A little bit down near the label.
So Crawford tonight with as many hits against old brother-in-law as he had his entire career. Hunter Pence struck out looking in his 2nd inning at bat. That first run giving the home folks a little something to holler about as nightfall begins to set in.
Borderline pitch. Garrett Cole, an extra long look in.
Oakland off in the background. Look at the China Basin. Well, we're seeing that all around baseball. That lower edge of the strike zone not getting called like it used to. Not just the Pirates. All teams, other teams.
I would think the majority of hitters would rather have a higher zone. Lift it up.
Get you to swing that bat, right? Have it at the letters.
But that pitch around the knees, I mean, as a hitter, that's most hitters. I'm not saying all hitters, but that pitch around, they don't want to have to swing at that pitch down around the knees. So if they're going to call it a ball, take it.
Strike zone for years was defined at the knees, then it became the hollow of the knees, which gave it just a little bit lower, and now it looks like it's coming back to about the knees again. So
with the pitching that we see nowadays, the velocities and so many big arms, I do believe it's a little tougher to pitch today than it's been in terms of the strike zone. It just seems like it's getting smaller and smaller.
And so for, you know, a lot of pitchers like Cole, we're seeing the ERAs go up. We're seeing the home runs allowed go up for most pitchers. So Albert Suarez making his way down to the bullpen.
Yeah, I think the Giants get to that pitching spot, you have to pinch hit.
This could be just the one out there. A little too slow to develop. Freese gets the lead runner. So panic on the fielder's choice. Pence moves to second. Chance to get the 8-hitter and have the pitcher lead off the next frame. Scores on the lowdown. Point Park brings them to you. Adam Conley and the Marlins winners tonight. Twins leading at the Dodgers. Dodgers going to be without Clayton Kershaw an estimated 4 to 6 weeks. Twins are going to be with Jaime Garcia, adding to their starting rotation. Hernandez, a strikeout victim his first time.
Don't see that very often. Garrett Cole bouncing a fastball.
There's Suarez. Kane is out on deck, but with the Giants trailing by 5. Trevor Cahill, Brandon Maurer, Ryan Buchter going to Kansas City. So the Royals bolstering their squad.
Yeah, that Central Division, much like the National League Central Division, up for grabs.
I still got a feeling Cleveland's going to take off. Everyone thinks, you know, nationally, the Cubs are going to take off in the NL Central. It hasn't been that way, so who knows? About 60 games left. Pirates right in the thick of things. Brewers leading the division right now. Cole has walked 2 in the inning, 3 tonight. Is it just me, or is on this road trip we've seen some tight strike zones for both pitchers?
You know, especially in Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the pitchers just couldn't catch a break in Denver, and you know, I think Garrett may be trying to be too fine with Gorky Hernandez. You know, with the big lead.
Even with 2 men on, right? Ray Searage will make his way out. Now the Pirates have pushed Matt Cain out of the ball game tonight. 4 innings for Cain. Connor Gillespie will pinch hit here. See if the Giants can get closer here, and Cole trying to make sure the lead stays in shape. 179 for Gillespie.
Yeah, I mean, and another, I guess you could call it an issue with the Giants. I mean, you have a chance to get back into the ball game with one swing and go with Gillespie.
Yeah, that's the best option, right?
179.
Yeah. Both pitches look like they skimmed the bottom of the zone. Got Pence at third on a walk. Panic reached on a fielder's choice. Hernandez walked. Now look at our WB Mason strike zone. Those were technically strikes. Get him to put it in play. Yeah, not going to get it called. Cole gets out of it with just the one run. Giants strand him loaded. 6-1 Buccos through 4 tonight.
The home run king of Major League Baseball. Not only is he that, he's also the latest member of the Giants Wall of Fame. Bonds was honored recently with a plaque outside AT Park in a ceremony that featured over 1,000 people. Many of Bonds' former teammates, Godfather Willie Mays, manager Bruce Bochy was in there as well. Barry Bonds signed with the Giants in 1993 and played 15 seasons of his 22 in the big leagues and won 5 MVP awards out here in the Bay Area. Of course, Pirate fans may remember he played his first 7 seasons with the Buccos, winning the NL MVP award in 1990 and 1992. Today is also Barry Bonds' 53rd birthday, Joe. They gave him a little shout out here just moments before first pitch.
Well, thank you, Robbie. And you know, it seems like yesterday he was playing, and it seems like it was forever ago in the same vein. But what was he like to play with?
He was the best player of this generation. I mean, no question about that. I mean, I think especially in the early 90s, not just with the bat, but the defense, the best left fielder in the game, one of the better base stealers in the game. He was the total package. It was incredible to watch Barry Bonds play. Between him and Andy Van Slyke in center, 2 of the best outfielders of that time. And what Barry could do with the bat was incredible. He saw things differently than most. Pretty amazing, really. And the bat speed and the plate discipline and the power the other way.
And Andrew McCutchen having a big night here in San Francisco. First 2 times up, driving in runs. That second at bat, 3-run home run following a 2-out error. He's having a good time. Finished May strong. Unbelievable June. July hasn't been half bad either. And adding to it tonight, really a difference-making hit. So Suarez coming on for Kane after Kane went 4 innings. Going to try to give him a little length there.
Catching that outside corner to get ahead of Andrew. A little backdoor sinker, late movement.
Suarez, a 27-year-old, native of San Felix in Venezuela. Cards the last season with the Giants. This is his second season now pitching in the major leagues. Cracked his bat. And Panic calmly throws out McCutchen. Josh Bell has driven in a run. I feel like I've said that a lot.
Every game.
Yeah, every game of the road trip. A quick inning for Suarez. Pirates still leading 6-1. AT Park here in San Francisco, where the Pirates bidding for series opening victory. Early offense. Garrett Cole, after leaving last inning, talking with Chris Conroy, the home plate umpire, he had a couple of pitches low in the zone that were called balls, and trying to get a definition of where that strike zone is in Conroy's perception.
You probably have to adjust. You're not calling the low strike.
Top of the order coming up for the Giants here in the 5th. Now obviously you didn't pitch, but as a hitter, if you were thinking about where the strike zone is, and maybe it's not called the way that you see it, how did that affect you as a hitter?
You got to expand. You got to adjust. I mean, again, up until 2 strikes, your approach is, I'm looking for a ball in a certain area, and if it's there, then you take a cut at it. If it's not, you take. And then once you get 2 strikes on you, then you have to make an adjustment, especially if it, you know, in the 90s, it seemed to me that the strike zone was a little bit wider. And once again, down in the zone, Span thought it was ball 4. But this time, Garrett Cole gets the low strike. And so, yeah, with 2 strikes, sometimes you have to expand and just try to fight off pitches that are borderline or pitches that are called that you don't feel are on the plate, or if they're, whatever. And
don't put it in the umpire's hands. Is that what you're?
No, you got to make an adjustment. So, Garrett Cole with another walk. That's the 3rd walk of the last 5 batters. With a 5-run lead, Garrett Cole, you see him working around the edges. Yeah, that pitch appeared to be up, but it's in the UPMC Sports Medicine strike zone at the very top of it.
There's only 5 pitchers in the National League that qualify that have a lower walk rate than Garrett Cole. So to see 4 walks is unusual. Cole has not walked 4 batters in any game this season. In fact, in his last 4 starts combined, he hadn't walked 4 batters. So,
and they're more aggressive with Nunez up there, just right at him. And that's the kind of attitude you kind of want to see with a big lead is, hey, I'm not going to mess around and try to pick around the zone. And it's kind of what he did there with Span, it appeared, and with Gorky Hernandez with 2 outs in the last inning, which ended up loading the bases after he walked Hernandez. With those 2 pitches, the first 2 to Nunez right there.
so he's making the adjustment.
Well, to Nunez,
Yeah.
I mean, more of attack mode.
And when you have the stuff of Cole, right, you can, I mean, it's not to say that, guys are not going to connect off you, but you have a little bit more ability to pitch to contact, I would assume. That's a foul ball.
Again, we talked about it a bit earlier with Garrett. Yeah, that plus velocity, you'll get away with more pitches that are left in the middle of the plate than somebody with lesser stuff.
'83 pitches now for Cole here in the 5th. He needed 31 last inning.
Nunez taking his time coming back to the batter's box as he thought that might have been a fair ball and ran through the bag.
That's a pretty good number for first pitch strikes. 2/3 or better, you feel good. Hook that fastball. Beautiful vistas here in the city by the bay. That sneaks through. Hard hit. And 2 on and nobody out. Well, the Giants, despite being down by 6 at one point, they're not going down quietly here in the middle innings.
He probably didn't want to leave that curveball there. Now, he was aggressive to get ahead of Nunez and tried to finish him with the curveball, and that one just stayed right down the middle. Hit hard through the hole.
Nunez figuring something out. So Span and Nunez aboard, both run pretty decently. Nunez better. Belt has walked and doubled. Well, the first 3 walks that Cole issued, all were stranded. Trying to keep that going.
a dangerous part of the lineup here with 2 on, nobody out. And Cole pitch count climbing.
Posey next. Unless Belt hits into 3.
It would have to be some pretty bad base running.
Yeah.
Down 5.
I don't think they're going to be going. The around the horn triple play, you got to be awfully slow.
Especially as a left-handed
Yeah.
batter.
I'm sure someone's got that stat somewhere, but the last left-handed batter to ground into a triple play around the horn, probably, if not never, it's been a long time, I'm sure. Pirates are strategizing. Yeah, why don't we turn 3 here? That sounds good. Let's do it. If it were really that easy, right?
2.
Wow. Well, only 1. Well, able to beat out the back end of that.
Yeah, I think the ball wasn't hit extremely hard. Kind of a long throw for Josh Harrison as he was playing Belt to pull. Good location there. 95 with sink. And he got Belt to roll over. And helps that Belt, not a fast runner, is coming out of the left-handed batter's box.
Our Allegheny Health Network Supermo shows that he was safe by a decent bit. Now still going to get a double play ball here. Posey, the best all-around hitter in this lineup. Slammed into center, and McCutchen plays it on a hop. And the Giants thought he had made the catch, and Belt runs into an out. He stopped at second, and then when he finally picked up third base umpire Ed Hickok's signaling that the ball was not caught, he takes off, and McCutchen, who did not throw the ball in, ends up getting out Belt.
What a break for the Pirates right there. You can't make this mistake as a base runner and get thrown out when you're down 4 runs. An opportunity here for the Giants. Yeah, McCutchen tries to sell it. Belt trying to go to third right there, and
After he'd already stopped.
yeah, see, clearly bounces.
I mean, live you could tell. And the umpire signaled quickly. It wasn't like there was a delayed call or anything like that, and Belt doesn't pick it up.
And I tell you what, that's a heck of a play by McCutchen, because if he doesn't stop this, Posey doesn't run well either, but he'd be on third base.
And Belt was at a complete stop.
Yeah, there's just no reason to try to go the extra 90 feet at that point.
So McCutchen, who has been on a roll, great outfield play in Colorado, his 7th outfield assist now this year.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been, if that got by Andrew, and again, a great stop by him, you're looking at 2 scoring on a triple. And they'd still have just the 1 out with Buster on third.
He played a good outfield in Colorado, making a big play there. Posey gets his 42nd run batted in, and Mercer can take it to the bag and end the inning. So limiting it to just 1, and the Pirates still lead by 4. Out here tonight early on in the first inning, couple of runs scoring, one on that Bell ripping double. He's driven in a run in every game on this road trip. And then in the second inning, after a 2-out error, Josh Harrison with that RBI single that brought home Jordy Mercer. Then Andrew McCutchen taking that curveball over the left field wall, a 3-run home run. And the Pirates scoring 4 after 2 outs after that error, and it's 6-2 now on our UPMC scoreboard. Facing Albert Suarez in his second inning of relief of Matt Cain. Lasted 4 innings tonight. David Freese has a base hit. That extended his hitting streak to 6 games now. Well, David Freese has played more third base than the Pirates expected this season, with Jung Ho Gung not playing with the Pirates this season. So Clint Hurdle has had to try to find ways to manage that playing time a little bit, trying to incorporate some rest for Freese, and that was the initial idea. He's 34 now, and he's shown that he can benefit from some of that, but this year there really hasn't been that option to give him a break all that often.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Freese would much rather play every day and than be in a bench type role, so I'm sure he's appreciative of the opportunity. Been in the middle of the lineup for pretty much all of his starts, and if it's rest that he needs, I mean, there's players available.
And Clint Hurdle has talked about that maybe the production from Freese isn't what it has been because of that use, and so he's struggled to try to figure out a way to balance it just the right way. And isn't that the manager's quandary all the time, especially with the bullpens, trying to get the right amount of usage so that the guys can be at or near their best?
Well, I mean, I don't think it'd be difficult to rest David Freese. I mean, if he's looking for opportunities to rest him, I mean, I actually thought with when Marte came off the DL, I thought it would be more of a platoon situation with Freese and Frazier maybe splitting starts, but that hasn't been the case. Freese has stayed in the lineup pretty much every day as he takes a third strike looking. Didn't seem very happy with the call, and maybe because of the way Buster Posey caught that, but clearly in the strike zone.
Looked like it crossed over the plate. Frazier getting a start tonight, but out in right field. Yeah, and Hurdle had alluded to, maybe Frazier starts at second, Harrison at third. That gives Freese a day, but now with Polanco out, that may thwart that.
No, I mean, you could do it. I mean, there's no reason why. If you're looking to give him a day off, it'd be easy to give him a day off. I mean, you looked at Jaso playing in the outfield, Osuna playing in the outfield. You could put Frazier in the infield.
Well, let's check in with Rob King. He's got a game break. Well, thank you, Rob, for that. It is good news to just see him on a baseball field again. Cervelli comes through with a 2-out single, but that off-season auto accident, and just thank goodness wife Giselle and the kids that were in the car at the time are okay now and getting better, and that Sean Rodriguez is back. There was a thought that he might miss the entire season after signing with Atlanta as a free agent. Saw them down, he and Giselle, when we were down in Miami, and both were doing better at that time. Still shaking a bit, and as you can imagine, but glad that they're moving away from that.
That is something else. Very fortunate. Well, you're never fortunate to have a car accident, but fortunate that the injuries weren't more severe, because that was nasty looking.
Yeah. That's how they looked at it too. Everyone's accounted for and okay. So we always wish Sean and his family the best. Suarez retired the first 5 men he faced until that Cervelli single. And that may not look like much, as Cervelli will streak to third. Some aggressive base running there. Once you get the pitcher up here, and now with Cervelli moving to third, unexpectedly to me at least, now you got an RBI chance for Cole too.
And fastball running in on Jordy Mercer, below the barrel, but a nice looking swing. If you try to pull that same pitch, chances are it's a weak grounder to third. You stay inside it, think middle, the bat head stays through the baseball, and you get yourself a soft base hit.
Oh, this is a nice piece of base running too by Cervelli.
Well, as long as you feel that you can get to third without a play, then go on. Span doesn't have a great throwing arm. He had to go to his left in the right center field, which makes it a longer throw. And Cervelli was certain he can get there standing, so.
Cole gets a few rips. Laid down to sacrifice and then bounced out. Couple of RBIs this year. Talk about having a nice evening. Temperatures into the 50s now, all bundled up. Clear Cole though, and the top of the order will come up next inning. Pirates leading 6-2. Music from the Maine, our producer Adam Elmore's favorite, right? Native of Maine. 6-2, Buccos have the advantage here in the series opener. Brewers off tonight. Cubs losing earlier today. Cardinals victorious, but they're behind the Pirates right now. So look at some of the scores on the lowdown. Windy City battle between the Sox and the Cubs. Well, the Pirates win tonight. They're 2.5 out. And 2 back of the Cubs. And Jan Marinez having some fun. It has been a fun mood. Marinez is a funny guy, by the way. Getting to learn him as he's joined the Pirates in midseason. And here, as Daniel Hudson starts to get loose, the bullpens are on the field, so they'll hang out in the dugout. A rare chance to interact with the others. They still stick to their own kind, though, right?
For the most part, but I'm sure it's a little different to hang out with your teammates for a change.
Yeah, Hudson getting loose on the field. A lot of parks it was that way. Used to warm some guys up. You ever warm up anybody on the field? Foul ground? Yeah?
Yeah.
There's always someone standing behind you, though, right? To make sure.
Yeah, typically. You always have to have protection. And you hope they have good hands.
Back of the catcher facing home plate. So
Let's see, I think the Astrodome. One time I was warming up down the third baseline, and I had to rush down there to get some lefty loose.
There's Jordan Comandina, bullpen catcher, one of them.
And he bounced one off my knee. I didn't have shin guards on. Bounced one off my knee. It went all the way to second base.
Well, an easy play. Leadoff man retired in the 6th. Hey, come on out to PNC Park for a free shirt Saturday on August 5th. As the Pirates will host the Padres at 7:05. The first 20,000 fans will get a Pirates t-shirt thanks to Peoples. And before the game, there's a block party on Federal Street. Alumni autographs and the Line and Kugel Bar. So get your tickets today at pirates.com/free shirt Saturday. A Clemente hat. That's a neat one. I like that. Got a pin on there too. I'll tell you, in my couple years, I think the thing I've been most impressed with, or one of the things I've been most impressed with, is how well the Pirate fans show up on the road, whether they live here or they travel. And there's a little bit of both usually.
Every ballpark.
Yeah, there's always a running into folks as we go around. J. Hay Scherzi in good taste. Fans of all eras too. And Garrett Cole at 106. That 4th inning, a couple of walks started to have the inning get away from him. But has kept the Giants quiet.
You think of that 4th and 5th inning for Garrett Cole. He had to do pretty good work to limit the damage. Just the 2 runs. I mean, there was a stretch where 7 of 11 reached safely, but just the 2 earned runs against them.
And a couple of foul outs in the inning. And look at our Point Park social media. Don using #BucksBooth. Check some of the West Coast trip out. Corey traveled all the way here from Pittsburgh. Come on out. And pals of our family, Greg and Martina Friend, out here at the ball game. They live in Pittsburgh and make the way here tonight. So Great to have them here at the ballpark as well. A little broken bat job. And Hernandez with a 2-out single, and Cole gets a little souvenir. He doesn't want it.
And a good fastball, and challenging Hernandez, and boy, look that right in half. It didn't seem like it was that far down from the barrel either. Most likely a maple bat. You don't see ash break in half like that very often.
Just kind of cracks, right?
Yeah.
Maple, a harder wood. They think increases the exit velocity when the ball is struck right. There's Orlando Caliste pinch hitting for Suarez. Willie Stargell's shirt. Going to have a great show for you coming up Wednesday night after postgame. A look at what Dave Parker is doing these days, battling Parkinson's, and a really extensive feature on him, talking to so many of his former teammates and also those who he played against, talking about his career and what he's doing now. George Contos will be the next Giants pitcher. Cole nearing his career high in pitches. Not really laboring, but by all accounts this will be his last inning of work. I think that hit his foot. Yep. Caliste with very limited major league action.
Has the shin guard on, and just below it. I would lower the shin guard now.
Got a little extra pant there, but that doesn't really help much. Caliste had 3 at-bats with the Royals a couple of years ago. And his second stint now with the Giants this year. And Freeze will end that. So Garrett Cole, looks like that'll be it for him tonight. Strong outing. 2 runs in 6. Pirates lead by 4.
Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the Chevy Trax and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Kruk and Kipe. Dwayne Kuiper, Mike Krukow, ex-Giants players. Part of the great broadcast crew here, the TV tandem of the Giants. And then looks like it's going to be it for Cole. One pitch shy of his career most, and an effective 6 innings tonight. Gave up just the 2 runs. And like you said, really some innings there where things, because of the rare walks tonight, things could have gotten a little wayward, but they did not.
And a nice play by Andrew McCutchen, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that saved at least 1, maybe 2 runs. As George Contos takes over, 0-4, 375. A little more than a punch out per inning.
He's had a sub-3 ERA the last 3 years with the Giants out of the pen. Facing the top of the order with Marte, then Harrison and McCutchen. That trio has scored 5 of the 6 runs tonight. Jay Hay with a double and a single. Driven in a run tonight. McCutchen a 3-run home run in the second. RBI bounce out. 4 runs driven in tonight. Two months ago he was hitting 200.
It's amazing.
We talk about it a lot. It's still amazing.
Yep.
I mean, the hard work and the adjustments and being able to get back to that elite level of player. Conto strikes out Marte. And our Nissan Road Ahead shows Madison Bumgarner back for the Giants. Jamison Tyone goes for the Buccos. Tyone having a fine season. Good pitching matchup. Weird to see Bumgarner without a victory on his ledger. And then Trevor Williams coming off a decent start against the Rockies against Jeff Samardzija, whose record and earned run average probably belies his overall performance, but it does kind of illustrate what the Giants have gone through. If you would have said on July 25th, Samardzija's ERA is over 5, Cueto's on the DL, and Bumgarner still hasn't won a game.
Yeah. Or if you'd say Trevor Williams had as many wins as Samardzija and Bumgarner combined.
Yeah. So you see, you know, that's the Giants' predicament. There's Trevor Williams, decent outing his first time around at Coors.
I think he just keeps getting better. I mean, for me, he's shown that he's a big league pitcher. He's a big league starting pitcher. I mean, his command's been good. The stuff's there.
I was having a conversation with a Pirate fan the other day about the 4th and 5th starters of the Pirates, and you can, and that's, you know, Williams and Cool. I don't know which one's which. Doesn't matter. The point is the quote-unquote back end of the rotation. There are some teams that have more accomplished or better 4 or 5 starters, but there aren't that many.
No,
I really don't think so. I mean, they've been between Cool and Williams over the last 2 months. You know, 10 starts, 11 starts, 12 starts, where do you want to go? There they are. Pretty darn consistent with the ERAs around 3.5 or 4, which is better than average.
and I think they'll continue to get better with experience.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the best of them yet, and they're already getting to a point where they're pretty good.
Yeah.
And you talk about you know, 4th and 5th starters. How many teams we saw the Twins trade today for Jaime Garcia? They're in the thick of the race too. I mean, there are a lot of teams looking to add. I mean, the Cubs had to trade to add to their starting rotation, getting Jose Quintana from the White Sox, and Stephen Brault. I mean, really, if that's the 6th starter with his ERA in low 2s down in AAA, he's now joined the Pirates bullpen. They've, you know, that was the #1 question I thought out of spring training, right? Well, how will the starting pitching be? There's some injuries, some underperformance a year ago, and that has been the hallmark of this team this year.
Yep. Well, with your top three, Cole, Nova, Tyone.
Punch comes on. Hey, let's stretch and maybe get a midnight snack too.
Stretch time in the Bay Area, as that man is going to be our guest tomorrow on Twitter Tuesday. The man throwing down the second base, talking about Pirates catcher Francisco Cervelli. Fans, send in your tweets with any question you have for the Bucco catcher. Please use the hashtag BucksTuesday and ask anything you would like on your mind for the ever popular Francisco Cervelli. Very open, honest, and funny guy, Joe, and he should be an entertaining guest for us tomorrow night. So again, send your questions in, use the hashtag BucksTuesday, and have at it. He'll answer them tomorrow, guys.
Thanks, Robbie. I hope he packed his robe when he does his That's Amore segment, taking dating advice and love letters, questions on the scoreboard at PNC Park. Top of the order coming up for the Giants against Tony Watson.
Tony, 5-2 with 3.50 ERA, 45th appearance. Still having a hard time getting over that opponents hit over 300 against Watson.
There was a stretch there where he was having a hard time getting outs, but lately that has changed again. Really for just about everybody out of the Pirates' pen, especially the guys that pitch when the Pirates have the lead. The Pirates have won 12 of their last 16 games since Independence Day. And so at Watson, Nicasio, Hudson, and Rivero, the guys that typically Pirates bring in with the lead, they've given up 2 runs over 27 plus innings in that span.
Yeah,
so.
I think Watson has only been scored upon once in his last 15 appearances, so he's back to form.
And has not seemed to be bothered by this time of year. He's a pending free agent. Of course, the trade deadline in less than a week, and reporters have asked him that question many times. What are you thinking about it, or are you letting that creep in your mind? He's been forever a Pirate. Nope, just going out and doing his work, and that work has been pretty good. And really all of the Pirates success has coincided with when Clint Hurdle took Watson out of that closer's role, put Felipe Rivero in, and it doesn't mean that Rivero magically put the Pirates on his back and launching them. I mean, there's so many different things together that have helped the Pirates win. But you know, when you've got the bullpen going well, it helps everything, it seems like. And Pirates have the second best record in the league since that date, June 10th, the first day that Rivero got his first save.
You should win games when you lead late. And obviously there was a stretch there where the Pirates weren't finishing games. But that bullpen is certainly a strength again.
This month, the 5th best ERA out of the 30 teams in baseball, and that's after a rough and tumble series in Colorado. So
look at these Giants, for instance, leading after 6, 21-3, leading after 7, 23-2, leading after 8, 27-1. I mean, when major league teams have a lead late, they win.
Even teams that are at the bottom of the division.
Yep.
Pirates numbers aren't as kind. They've had more circumstances. And of course, you know, the Pirates' main strength, bullpen during their playoff runs. Giants, oh, very much almost the same cast of characters those 3 different seasons.
I think people forget. Well, last year was what an at-bat there from Span. Fouled off a bunch of pitches. 9-pitch walk. And I think people forget. You look back at last year and the Giants and wild card team into the postseason, and they had issues with their back end of the bullpen all year, including the series against the Cubs. If they could close out, what was it, game, the second to the last game, the Cubs came back and won. Cubs don't advance. The Giants would have advanced.
Right.
A lot of people forget that.
Well, the people in San Francisco didn't, and, and everybody clamored, hey, you got to go out and get some guys for the bullpen. So what do? They go and they open up the vault for Mark Melancon. And Melanson's been hurt for pretty much the last month or so, but nearing a return. Probably going to go out on a rehab assignment soon, but they thought maybe that would be and it made sense that maybe that was the one piece that gets them to the next thing. Well, you know, with starting pitching of Samardzija, who they signed to a long-term contract the year prior, same thing with Cueto. On paper, it looked like the Giants very much would be in the thick of things with the Dodgers. I think everyone thought the Dodgers probably had a leg up, but Colorado and Arizona really moving up. Yeah, the Giants moving down. And maybe it's an aberration. Maybe it is some of the guys who have performed very well for the Giants through the years. Maybe working themselves and having down years, or maybe just on the downsides of their careers. Depends on the guy. Brandon Crawford's still in his 20s. It's tough to win year after year after year.
Especially when so many players are having bad years.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them having bad years.
Well, you look at the Pirates last year. I mean, and the Pirates had a much better record than the Giants are having right now, but Andrew McCutchen, by his standards, had a down year last year. Garrett Cole was on and off hurt and then didn't perform the way that he was used to. And then the starting pitching, which has been a strength of this year's group. Nunez with a base hit. It was tough to figure out the starting pitching last year. And Robbie's got more on the Giants as they brought back an old friend, didn't they?
Yeah, you mentioned them trying to make some moves to shuffle things up a little bit, and they did a few days ago. They brought back one of the most popular players in recent history, talking about the Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval. You get a look at what he did with the Boston Red Sox in 32 career games. He signed a minor league contract on Saturday. Now, he played at Single-A San Jose Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow, he goes to Triple-A and will play in Sacramento. But here's the catch. He didn't leave on the best of terms following the 2014 season. He felt he was disrespected during contract negotiations, and upon his re-signing with the Giants, he issued a statement of apology. to the fans, many like them that support him and wear the Panda hats, and also to his former teammates. Now, Sandoval won 3 World Series with the Giants and was the MVP of the 2012 Fall Classic. So, Rock, I don't know, what that experience may be like, but he's going to have to mend some fences should he make his way back to the Giants.
Yeah, he's going to have to hit better.
Yeah, I mean, if he contributes, all is forgiven very quickly, right?
If he hits again, gets himself into better shape, but then the Giants picked up what was a really good player for the minimum.
Still being paid by the Red Sox. Giants only pick up the very minimum, and the Red Sox have to still pay that rich contract that he signed. Meanwhile, Juan Nicasio starting to get up now, as Watson has put the first 2 men aboard here, and the tying run has come out on deck here in what has been a pretty quiet night for the Giants bats, but with the middle of the order up, aiming for a late uprising. Buster Posey has driven in 1 of the 2 runs. He's waiting. Well, nearly bounced into a double plays last time. Just beat out the back end.
Pretty good rip there, and Tony Watson once again with 2 strikes on a batter, and Span with the long at bat draws the walk on 9 pitches. Nunez fell behind 1 and 2, ended up hitting a breaking ball hard into left. Already 19 pitches here for Tony Watson.
Ray Searage looking on, trying to see if the Pirates can get through this 7th. Now 3 and 2. A little uneasy feeling here in the 7th. Span the lead runner. Nunez runs pretty well at first.
With the full count, the runners will not be going.
Watson already at 20 pitches.
Helped him. Belt looked like just protecting that outside corner. The pitch was off the plate. Obviously, if he takes it, yeah, it would have been a ball.
Another 3-2 off the mask of Cervelli. Let's get into the point here where Watson's pitch count running up there. Let's see where it gets Cervelli.
Oh, another one off the mask.
The one that jarred him in early June in Baltimore kind of hit on his side there, and when he hits flush like that, it's usually a little bit better. Same ball that Belt hit last time, but this time they get 2.
That's big. I mean, laboring Tony Watson with the 23rd pitch, resulting in 2 outs. Through 22, the Giants batters just up there battling and taking and fouling pitches off. The pitch number 23 hit harder this time than the last at bat for Belt, and so Jay Hay able to get it to Jordy much quicker. Jordy had time Tony Watson, happy.
And now instead of the tying run coming up if he had walked Belt, Span at third with 2 outs. That's a big swing. Seen some big pitches tonight from Cole and now from Watson. And Posey with his second RBI tonight. Will narrow the Giants' deficit to 3. He's the one guy that is kind of lived up to the back of his baseball card so far this year.
He can just flat out hit, and inside outs it, fastball in on the hands, and watch the hands will leave the barrel. And the ball finds a hole. You see Bell off the line. Josh Harrison up the middle.
Ray Searage will counsel Watson. And a look at the lowdown. 500 steals now for Jose Reyes. Ichiro, the only active player with half 1,000 steals. Brandon Crawford with 2 singles tonight. 6-3 ball game. Both teams with 8 hits now. Well, not to pile on, but you know, looking back at that second inning, and 2-out error by Nunez. 4 runs come across for the Pirates after that. Right now the difference, the McCutchen 3-run home run. But the Pirates have been quieted at the plate since then. Yeah, McCutchen's driven in 4 of those runs tonight. The Giants just ticking away. This will be Watson's last batter, one way or the other. And he gets him. So 1 run. And it remains, or it is now 6-3 Pirates.
Story in sports yesterday was golfer Jordan Spieth winning the 146 Open Championship at Royal Birkdale and also his 3rd major. Now many people are happy for him, including one of his high school teammates. That man, Josh Bell.
I mean, Rocky, I guess, what was that, 15th, 16th hole? Just following that and then seeing how he finished was incredible. Definitely happy for him, and you know, I'm sure he's on top of the world right now.
The two went to Dallas Jesuit High School and signed their letters of intent to the University of Texas while sitting next to one another. Spieth played 2 years there while Bell opted to begin his professional baseball career here with the Pittsburgh Pirates. But if you haven't followed along, yep, Jordan Spieth and Josh Bell, high school classmates that graduated together. Guys?
Well, thanks for that. I didn't know about that tie-in. I wonder if Jordan Spieth would be better at baseball than Josh Bell would be at golf. I think Bell would probably win that battle, right?
I know that was incredible watching Jordan Spieth yesterday. He is some kind of good.
The Idahoan, native of Boise, Idaho, Josh Osich, to face Bell. And Bell has just been really having a great road trip. 2 hits again tonight. Drove in a run back in the first. Now with the lead down to 3, why not? Trying to get a little room here.
Boy, that's another good piece of hitting. That backdoor curveball, and reaches out, hooks it over the shortstop's head.
Nice drive.
A little fade in the left center.
Now David Freese. You're talking about how Bell came up big school in Dallas, sports factory. Josh Osich, the Giants pitcher, very much the opposite situation growing up in Idaho. Not too many guys from Idaho that have made it to the major leagues.
I would think not.
21.
21.
Vern Law comes to mind, and I was looking it up too. Jason Schmidt was born in Idaho. I didn't realize that. But talking with Josh today about that, and for his high school level, the 4A class or whatever, there's one conference for the whole state. There wasn't a lot of high school ball being played. And Josh Bell, I'm sure they had in Dallas, you can drive a half an hour and there's probably 15, 20 schools you could play, or in that kind of thing. For Osich, the closest one was a half an hour away, and sometimes they'd have to drive as much as 11 hours to play a conference baseball game.
Crazy.
Of course, they do it in a whole series for the weekend, but.
Well, that's what's crazy about Jordy Mercer. I mean, he went to a high school that graduated like 60. Like, how do you field a baseball team when there's 60 people in a class?
Osich's school is a little bit bigger, Bishop Kelly High School in Boise, but one year in high school, his team had 9 players. Guess who pitched? Almost every game.
Yeah.
So, small town, big town, the U.S., parts internationally, overseas, Latin America, now Europe, Asia, of course. Baseball game for the tall, the small, and everybody from all over. There's Jordy. He had about the entire county in Colorado watching him play. That one's in for a hit. And Freese aboard with his second hit tonight. The Pirates getting something stirring here in the 8th.
Yeah, get them runs back. Lead down to 3. And David Freese will tell you when he's stroking the ball the other way is when he feels locked in. And fastball elevated, and man, just picture perfect.
He's coming back alive again. A long spell in there where, I mean, he would draw a ton of walks with Freese. I mean, he was still getting on base, but it's not seeing him drive the ball consistently. Now, this last week or so, starting to see it again, and now 2 on for Adam Frazier. Getting the bunt down. Not something that Frazier has done a lot of, but able to do that very well there. Puts men in scoring position.
Base hit could bring in 2 more. I'm not sure if the Giants were anticipating this or not, but in fact, watching that, I know they weren't anticipating it because Brandon Belt just stayed there at first base. He typically would be charging in a bunt situation.
First career sacrifice for Frazier. So the infield plays mostly in. Andrew McCutchen now with just 2 more sacrifices in his career than Frazier. I know that he's played longer, but trying to illustrate. Frazier just hadn't bunted a lot. He has lately. And Cervelli makes it his last time.
Figure Frazier batting leadoff, not going to have many opportunities to sacrifice.
Good point. But right at Nunez. That's the second out.
Actually, good base running by Josh Bell there. Heading straight back to the bag. That ground ball takes Nunez to the bag. And if Josh Bell were to just cross over towards home, he's out. And Pirates obviously making sure that the ball goes through. And so Josh, as soon as that ball was hit, started back towards third.
Didn't even freeze, just immediately went back. So the rookie, smart running, stays alive for Mercer. He's got a pair of singles tonight. 2-out chance to add to the Pirates' lead, up 3. Mercer's been very consistent with runners in scoring position. Entering play tonight, heading over 300 with men at second and or third.
Good cut there at 96. He was right on it.
Osich has not been scored upon in his last 7 outings, so he's gotten on a bit of a roll for the Giants.
A little deep. Quite good out there. Most of the time when you see a batter foul the ball back, it's because they didn't quite get extended. They didn't get the barrel out quickly enough.
Now 1-2. Jose Osuna would bat for Tony Watson. Bell at third, Freeze at second. He's off again.
Good job of wasting that one. A little curve ball. Flicks it the other way.
The lead is 3. Giants have pecked at the Pirates' big lead. Posey wants to make sure Osich keeps the score right where it's at. They're waving here. Now full. Well, Mercer has taken an 0-2 count to 3-2. Second and third, 2 outs. 3-2 to Mercer. Down the line and deep. And there it goes! A home run for Jordy Mercer. He hung in there and hits a big 3-run home run here in the 8th.
Boy, that is a big home run. Now I'm sitting here thinking, well, you got first base open. You don't have to give in to him. You might be able to, try and pick at a corner and maybe get him to chase something. The one thing I didn't expect him to get was a hanging curveball. Now Jordy didn't get all of it, but he certainly gets enough of it. There's the curveball. Look at that, middle up. And that's a bad pitch. And Jordy makes him pay.
Home run number 10 for Mercer. His second on the road trip. And the Pirates with 2 3-run home runs tonight. That makes the Bucco fans breathe a little easier. Osuna batting for Tony Watson.
And one of the tips would clobber the fastball. It's been the curveball.
Yeah.
The difference in the game, the 2-out, 3-run homers, both on curveballs.
McCutchen with a 3-run home run back in the second. And then Mercer, he was down 0-2, a 2-out, 3-run home run. Yeah, they've stuck around to watch a fun one here tonight. I'll make sure, yeah, you can have Steelers on too, that's all right. He's got a Pirate shirt on underneath. It's chilly here. Osuna with a pinch hit. So a good end of the day for Jose Osuna. It didn't start off very well. Look at the screen there. Whoa. Got out of the way of that. Don't want to go on workman's comp already.
No.
Just started it for the rookie. Ron Wodos on the right, the acting manager of the Giants. Bruce Bochy ejected back in the second inning for arguing balls and strikes.
Phil Nevin. Blast from the past. Another happy Bucco fan.
Getting a good seat tonight. Look at that. Juan Nicasio has been warmed and ready. Starling Marte after a 4-hit inning, trying for more. Now the Pirates with 2 3-run home runs tonight. They have not had a game where they've had 2 3-run homers since April of 15.
Yeah, they're difference makers.
Just like we told you right here, here in this ballpark that allows the fewest home runs. That's a foul ball by a foot. And with the 2 teams that feature the fewest home runs hit, of course, this game would be decided by 2 home runs. McCutchen's in the second. And Mercer's here in the 8th. Jordy hit his 10th. And Osich, who has had a good stretch of ball, 7 consecutive scoreless outings, laboring to try to get that final out here. One of them was on a sacrifice in this inning.
And 4 for 5. The Pirates are this inning. Well, Marte will be looking to unleash at a fastball here.
Three-one.
Marte was looking for something to pull. He got the outside fastball, so a little bit out in front, but he was hunting fastball, that's for sure.
Well, the Pirates likely are going to be 2.5 out if they can hold on to 6-run lead with 6 outs to go. Osuna runs on 3-2. He might score on this one. Bangs around out there. And the Pirates in double digits. RBI double for Starling Marte.
And once again, Osich throwing one right down the middle on a full count. And Marte sitting fastball once again. It's another hard hit ball. What a rough night for Osich. Faced 7 batters. 5 for 6, those 7 batters.
Guess I shouldn't have talked to him before the game.
Why not? I think you should talk to him before tomorrow's game.
I'll see if I can get a word with Bumgarner.
That too.
Pirates lead by 7.
Is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pirates with a 10 spot tonight. They have put on 4 here in the 8th to lead 10-3. 2,601 miles. That's a good mom. Coming all the way here to watch the Buccos. Giants with a pitching change here in the 8th. Coming on, Kyle Creek.
And just 10 appearances, 12 innings, 4 walks.
And that ends the inning. And that high pop. So an RBI double by Mercer and by Marte, and a 3-run home run by Jordy Mercer. And the Pirates with a big lead tonight.
AT Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel. Visit our brand new Kia showroom in Wexford. More vehicles than ever at the very best prices. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Jordy Mercer with his second home run on the road trip. Really a difference maker too tonight. It was a 3-run game starting that inning. Now the Pirates have some breathing room.
Well, 1-4, 2.64 ERA. Opponent sitting just 2.30 against him. A rare 3 consecutive days off for Juan.
Well, he can use it. He's appeared now in 49 ball games. Well, ranging. And Nicasio getting some cardio in. Can always use the hashtag Bucks Booth. Take a look at all of your social media items throughout the night and early morning, and look at some of our Point Park social media. Beautiful at bat by Mercer. First batter after getting home. Sorry if we woke you up. That's all right. Thanks for staying up with us. Pass 1 back home. And some late night bucking, absolutely. Saw a good tweet from Bob Nightingale talking about Mercer's defense, offense. He's been such a solid shortstop, and for those who are with us throughout the season, everyone knows I talk about Mercer's defense a lot, but I just think he's one of those guys that you're not going to see on the highlight reel very often, unless he hits a 3-run home run like that. But night in and night out, so steady, and really both shortstops in this game. Brandon Crawford now out of the game, but those are the 2 guys that have really stood out over the last couple of years in the National League. Crawford winning the Gold Glove, but of the guys who just go out and
are really good.
Yeah, go about their business
Yeah.
and make the plays.
I hope that Mercer gets recognized as a finalist. I think that is overdue. I know the range isn't what some, for instance, Arcia of Milwaukee, maybe as he gets more polished, he might kind of move into that top spot in the National League among shortstops. But right now, the two shortstops that started this game, those are the guys I think that are the top ones here in the senior circuit right now, in my opinion.
Just 5 errors. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. 95 games.
Just out of Freese's reach. Joe Panik with his first hit tonight. One out base runner. MLB.com at bat. That's your #1 mobile app for live Pirates baseball. You can stay connected with a fully customizable experience. You can get Pirates home screen icons and app features. You get game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCasts, news, and more. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good, yeah. Download MLB.com today. And Gorkis Hernandez been on base a couple of times. In case you're wondering, why use Nicasio with a 7-run lead? It was a 3-run lead, and he had been loosening for some time as the Pirates put together that 4-run inning. Panik taking second base. Goes down as a PNM, pay no mind.
Don't normally see it that often with 1 out. And the reason you don't see it with 1 out is if the batter swings and hits a pop-up, lines out, you're running yourself out of an inning. Most managers will wait till there's 2 outs before they let that runner go. As far as I'm concerned, that difference doesn't make 2 outs or 1 out. If they're not holding you on and you can go to second base, keep yourself out of a double play anyhow. I think you're more likely to hit a ground ball double play than a line out.
Two and two now. And the crowd announced it over 40,000 tonight. That was the paid attendance. It was a lot closer to that at the point of the beginning of the game. The Pirates' big lead. Many folks getting on the BART or the Caltrain or whatever and going home. Two away with Panik at second.
Nice little play there by David Freese to the backhand side, and there was no panic once he gloved it, despite the speed of Hernandez.
Well done. Was that a little pun? Joe Panik. He said there's no panic by Freese. Yeah. Well done.
There's no panic.
Yeah. All right. You can take credit for that. That was good.
I wasn't taking credit for anything. I was just calling it the way I saw it. David Freese backhanded it, came up nice and calm. Didn't rush it.
And meanwhile, Panik didn't go anywhere. He stayed put. He froze on that ground ball. Kelby Tomlinson on the double switch. Came in last inning. He's an Oklahoman as well, like Jordy Mercer. Mercer out of Tologa. Kelby Tomlinson out of Elgin, Oklahoma. The difference, Mercer is homered tonight. Tomlinson has not homered in professional baseball in more than 2 years.
Wow.
Chokes up.
That's a little Tim Foley in him.
Ah.
Chokes up, wears the glasses, rests the bat on his shoulder.
Tomlinson, a slick fielder and can hit for batting average, so that's why he has made it. Yeah, choking up, meaning moving up the bat away from the knob like that. Couple fingers worth.
98. And late.
Good catch.
All those guys around him with gloves tell me he caught that with his bare hands. Pretty impressive.
Trying to get the final out of the 8th. Pirates will have Andrew McCutchen leading off next inning. He and Mercer with 3-run home runs tonight. Now with the advent of contact lenses, I don't see a lot of guys wearing glasses. If they do, it's usually those kind of goggle types.
LASIK surgery.
Yeah. But he and the Brewers' Eric Sogard come to mind. I'm sure there are a few others.
I mean, if you're eligible to get LASIK surgery, I just think it would be just a huge advantage to have. I guess there's some risk involved, but to not have to worry about glasses or contacts.
Yeah, those cars had LASIK. I don't know.
You're not sure?
It's 1:13 in the morning.
You're not sure if they had LASIK?
Maybe they had that polish that shines up the headlights, keep them from yellowing.
Rain-X?
Yeah, whatever that is. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that is funny. Max Scherzer like.
Oh, okay. Has two different color irises, yeah.
Well, Nicasio working hard. Tomlinson wasting a bunch of pitches.
Yeah, between there's the look at specs. Looks serious there.
I went to get LASIK, and they wouldn't do it. They said my eyes weren't bad enough.
Oh, wow. Tenth pitch of the at bat from one Oklahoman to another, and finally get the out on the 10th pitch. Pirates lead 10-3. Good look at this one on our Allegheny Health Network Super Mo. Status current swell. Yes, they are swell right now, 10-3. Pirates difference making home runs, 3-run shots by McCutchen and Mercer tonight. Hey, stick around, watch them shake hands tonight. Brewers off tonight. Cubs have lost. Pirates will be assuming they can get the 3 outs needed. Will be 2.5 back of Milwaukee and within 2 games of the Cubs. Hanging around here in late July. And Clint Hurdle talking about how his unwavering confidence in the club and the club's unwavering confidence in itself helping to enable this. Well, if, you know, the old adage of if you don't believe in yourself, then who will believe in you, right? And tell your kids that or whatever when they're in school or what, you know. But I mean, it really, you know, Andrew McCutchen, you think about it, 2 months ago hitting at 200. He still was working at it and found something, and then he's taken off.
You don't make it at this level if you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the ultimate level. That doesn't mean, you know, your confidence wavers from time to time, and it happens to the best, to Andrew McCutchen.
And has now reestablished himself as one of the better hitters around. He has driven in 4 runs tonight, but strikes out here. And with a 7-run lead, Pirates are getting Felipe Rivero up. And one thought is that he has not pitched since what, Thursday?
I believe.
Take a gander at my old chart here. Yeah, I think it's Thursday. Yep, Thursday. Get him some work. Josh Bell, a 3-hit night.
A confident hitter there, Josh Bell.
I think this is the longest stretch of time all year that Rivero hasn't pitched, I would say. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, take the weekend off. Pirates won handily on Friday. They were behind on Saturday and Sunday and lost.
I'm sure Rivero would have liked to have pitched in Colorado, which would have been, you know, close or safe situation. Pirates winning, but I don't think, you know, Rivero's obviously different, the stuff that he has, but a lot of pitchers probably wouldn't mind the weekend off in Denver.
Yeah. That is not a pitcher-friendly environment, especially with the Rockies lineup that they sport these days. That's a good ball club. Pirates were able to get 1 out of 3.
I like their young pitchers.
I'll tell you, I certainly like the last 2. Freeland, who took a no-hit bid in the 9th 2 starts ago, and then that German Marquez battled a little control issues in that first inning. Pirates young pitchers pitched well there. Williams and Cool. And I think the standard is different. Did you keep your club in the ball game? And both pitchers did. Limiting big innings. Cool was unhappy with his start because he gave up 3 runs in an inning there. But again, he left with the club trailing 4-2. After his 6 innings, the club was very much in the ball game, and he didn't overly tax the bullpen. So that's all you're looking for. So Freese gets aboard.
Birds are back.
Adam Frazier so far hitless tonight. He's the last Pirate non-pitcher. There. The Seagulls, beautiful creatures that they are, scavenging for leftover garlic fries here in San Francisco.
They're huge too. You see them when they park. They look as big as turkey.
Now, that's not an actual size glove. That is a very large glove out there, so that doesn't represent it. Yeah, they're big. They're fed well here. Occasionally you'll see one fly across our cameras. There they are. And as the crowd thins, they descend. And usually on when we're on radio side, we do the post-game show, kind of here after the crowd is thinned out, and if you're not careful, sometimes they'll work their way in near the booth, and boy, they're big. I think 3 of them would outweigh me.
It's impressive. I mean, I know they try to get rid of them. I don't think there's anything they can do.
Jameson Taillon, hopefully the way he pitches tomorrow, we'll have the Seagulls coming in early again. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Not endangered.
No.
Francisco Cervelli with a base hit in 4 trips. Pirates getting 3-run home runs tonight by McCutchen in the 2nd, Mercer in the 8th. McCutchen has driven in 4. Harrison, Bell, Marte with runs batted in. Garrett Cole gave up 2 runs in his 6 innings. A couple of modest jams that he got out of. And the Pirates will get a little closer to first. They'll get back to 500 with a victory tonight. Be 50-50.
Yeah, 62 left. And it'll be fun. It'll be fun down the stretch. Still have a lot of games against your division. Games against the Cubs, the Brewers, the Cardinals.
Pirates have fared well against the teams ahead of them in the division. 15-8 against the Brewers and Cubs. And General Manager Neil Huntington saying on his radio show on Sunday that the Pirates are considering adding, if it makes sense.
The bad boy go get it.
Probably going to be something similar to last trading deadline, right? I mean, if there's a smart move to be made, it looks smart at the time, of course, that they'll try to do it. The Liriano deal last year was to set up the offseason. I don't think there's a move like that going to be in the works. Nothing seems like that would make sense. But the Melanson for Rivero deal. Now that one was interesting. I don't think the Pirates have that kind of scenario set up either, where there's a kind of marquee pending free agent that they would consider moving either. The runner's moving and Cervelli walking.
And then Posey was on his way to the dugout. I mean, it looked like Posey thought that was strike 3.
Chris Conroy already ejecting Bruce Bochy back in the 2nd inning for disputing balls and strikes.
Yeah.
He got a lot of the zone. Dave Righetti, longtime pitching coach since 2000. been the pitching coach here in San Francisco. There's Rivero, who will come on with at least a 7-run advantage. And he tweeted today, at Point Park Tweets, what happened last time I was in San Francisco? That is not happening this time. He got traded from the Washington Nationals. In fact, it was 5 minutes before the national anthem. He was in full uniform, and Dusty Baker had come out and was just about to come out and start managing the game, and he notified him, hey, you've been traded. And there was no rumors or anything circulating with Felipe Rivero. He was stunned to hear the news that he was going to Pittsburgh, and so he packed his things up and joined the Pirates in Milwaukee. And as soon as he arrived, he pitched that day.
You know,
it's a fresh arm.
Last year, probably the biggest moves involved closers. You look at Melanson, you look at Chapman, you look at Miller, and I mean they were a lot of prospects for these marquee type dominant lefty pitchers. I read something a few days ago about Rivero and whether the Pirates would entertain the thought of trading him, which would seem outrageous. But the return would be enormous, you know?
Right.
I would think that he would be maybe the most valuable in terms of what you would get in return on the Pirates roster.
Just getting word that Dave Righetti was ejected, the pitching coach of the Giants. So apparently he was arguing balls and strikes. So Chris Conroy, he ejected Andrew McCutchen last year. First time Andrew McCutchen had ever been ejected from a game. So Conroy giving a couple of Giants the heave-ho tonight.
Boy, Jordy can have one heck of a day with a big swing here.
Oh boy. Career high RBIs is 4. Had a 3-run home run his last time. 3 hits tonight. When you talk about all those different trade scenarios, I'm sure Neil Huntington and all the 30 general managers entertain so many different possibilities. Many are probably one-sided and never even amount to anything. And I'm sure there are a few that get very close that we never even hear about. So the bat and ball go to short. Tomlinson gets the final out, so the Pirates threaten to add on. 3 outs from a victory, and Rivero coming up.
Control here, up 10-3 as we hit the bottom half of the 9th inning, and Felipe Rivero will enter the game. He has a locker stall just like all the 24 teammates that he has here on the Pirates, and the name tag's been a little bit of a rocky road for Rivero on this trip so far, and he sent out a tweet saying with regard to his last name, and then we get another look. I think there is one thing missing, isn't it? It's missing the E. It's Felipe Rivero. So he's missing the E on his name tag. Now, when he was in Colorado in the last series, his name tag said Phillip Rivers, but that was a nickname given to him by Washington Nationals starter Max Scherzer when he first came to the Nationals. Obviously, Felipe Rivero now knows who Phillip Rivers is. Didn't when he got there. So I asked him about today. I said, "Did you do that?" No, I swear I didn't do it this time. He kind of fudged with his name tag a little bit in the last series in Denver. But this one, honest mistake. Felipe Rivero with the E before the R, as you can see right there, guys.
Rivero. Yeah, those guys that work in the clubhouses have to put together a whole bunch of names every time the teams come in. Madison Bumgarner will get the start for the Giants tomorrow. Still looking for his first win of the season. Pirates hope to prolong that for him. They're 3 outs away from getting the series opener in their pockets. Span, Nunez, and Belt, the top of the Giants order. And in case you're wondering, why is Rivero pitching with a 7-run advantage? He did not pitch in that Colorado series, so last time he offered was Thursday afternoon against Milwaukee.
He seems like a guy that wants to pitch every night. He seems to have so much fun on the mound.
He's playing catch at 100.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I was sitting watching him warm up, and I'm thinking it wouldn't surprise me just for fun. You know, you got a 10-3 lead. He's coming in for some work just to throw all change-ups, just to see what happens.
I think he did that. What was it? Maybe a couple weeks ago. Oh no, it was last week. It was on the homestand. He started to get a little changeup happy. I think he gave up 2 singles, and then he started to go back mostly with the number 1. But I mean, the changeup can be a devastating pitch. The slider can be a devastating pitch. And then right there, he throws a curveball every now and then. That's his 4th best pitch, but he can still get it over for a strike. How many 4-pitch closers are there that are left-handed and throw 100 miles an hour? There's one, and he's on your screen.
Crazy. We think he can throw a pitch at 81 miles per hour with that arm speed.
It's not like you can pick it up either. They all look the same. Now Rivero, when he got traded to the Pirates last year, right at the end of July, since he picked up a ball and threw it for the Pirates, he has the lowest earned run average of any reliever and starting pitcher for that matter in the National League. He's been better than Kelly Jansen. Better than everybody. 50 games or more. Just use that as a threshold. Got about a year's worth of games in.
You have to wonder, like, what the Nats think. You know, they bought a rental. They traded for a rental in Melanson and gave up this guy, who you could arguably say is the nastiest in baseball.
Well, I don't think they knew what they had. Credit the Pirates for scouting, you know, I mean, and thinking about that. They also picked up Taylor Hearn, who got a left-hander who throws 100 miles an hour. He's down an A-ball right now, 22-year-old. So they got another, wild card there that, if he ever pans out, they might have gotten 2 guys. Yeah, I mean, but, the Nats, I mean, they have been this close for so long. And Rivero walk here. A leadoff man aboard here in the 9th inning. Game 2 of this series coming up tomorrow. Pirates and Giants. Jamison Tyone against Madison Bumgarner. There's Mad Bum. Our coverage on AT Sportsnet begins at 9:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. I know Tyone will be looking forward to that challenge, facing one of the game's top pitchers in Bumgarner. Bell will take care of it for the first out.
Would you believe me if I said that the Pirates have thrown more pitches than the Giants?
I guess you're right. Yeah, with Watson and Nicasio kind of struggling to get through their innings, and then looking down at Cole's number tonight, I had forgotten he had thrown 115. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the Pirates put together 10 runs. Brandon Belt. Talking about Rivero again, too. You were saying about the Nationals, who now had to go out and trade for Sean Doolittle and Ryan Manson, and probably are looking for one more reliever, maybe a more bona fide closer, to finally fill that role. If they thought that he would be the next closer, I'm sure they wouldn't have traded him.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
She'll go. In case Rivero's pitch count starts getting a little high, they want to make sure he's available for tomorrow. So let's get him some work and then get him out. Well, really, it was that 18-inning game right after the All-Star break last year, that 2-1 win, Marte homering, but Rivero pitched 3 innings of relief somewhere in that vast extra innings, and if I recall, it was either he faced the minimum or close to it, and he featured what he features now.
Yeah,
but he used to walk a lot of guys, and this year, really, I don't think the Pirates really thought for sure that he was going to be this kind of pitcher until spring training, because then you saw all of a sudden the command of those pitches, the walks going down. That really changed him from being kind of a prospect still, someone with a real good live arm, to being what he is today. So credit the Pirates, though, for thinking that he might turn into that.
Well, that's where I think it's always dangerous, you know, when you're looking to improve your club and the demands and the return that other teams want. You know, I mean, there are certain clubs like the Nats or the Dodgers that can afford, or the Cubs can afford to give away or trade their prospects to improve their club, because they might not need their prospects. They can just go out and
buy some fill-ins,
free agents. Yeah. Whereas the Pirates, I mean, aren't going to be able to compete in the free agent market like those clubs.
So the Pirates' MO has always been to try to have as much talent and accumulate it. So we'll see, you know, with the deadline coming up 6 days from now. Posey, the last chance here for the Giants. Ivan Nova, acquired at the deadline last year. I mean, a pretty successful move, and then re-signed in the offseason. Pirates were able to sign him to a 3-year deal. So he wanted to pitch in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at the history of deadline deals for Neil Huntington. I mean, it's been a lot of good. There's been a lot of good. I mean, there's been a lot of great return that's worked out very well for the Pirates, and they rarely have had to give up too much in terms of top prospects. They've been able to hold on to their top prospects.
And you think of the guys that have been traded away. Give me one guy that's made a difference for another team.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I know. And I think that the return in a lot of these cases was very beneficial, very helpful for the Pirates down the stretch.
Rivero trying to close out the Giants. Pirates would move to 2.5 back of Milwaukee, 2 back of the Cubs, who lost today. Brewers were off. Big bats tonight. McCutchen, Mercer. Bell with 3 hits and an RBI tonight. And Frazier able to squeeze the final out. And the Pirates with a strong statement here in the opener, beating the Giants 10-3.
Yeah, there you go. Had the big hits, the big 2-out RBIs. Once again, I mean, we've seen that a lot in the second half. The clutch 2-out hits, and today the McCutchen homer, the big one. Mercer with a 2-out 3-run homer. The Giants made Pirates pitchers work a little bit, but Garrett Cole in command through his 6. Threw a lot of pitches through those 6, and at times you do have to tip your cap to the opposition. But yeah, nice way to start this series.
Now the Pirates, even the road trip so far, at 2-2, with a one-sided win tonight. And let's go out to our studios. Rob King and